I want you to look at the reflection of your physical appearance in a pond. Notice that when the water is still, your reflection is symmetrical to your physical body. And in this way, you know that you're looking at yourself. Now throw something in the pond and notice the disturbance of the water, and notice the distortion of your reflection. Your reflection does not correspond anymore with the actual physical object being reflected. It becomes difficult to recognize yourself in the reflection. So, when water is in its natural state, the reflection is perfect. And when energy is added to the water is disturbed and the reflection is distorted. Now, instead of looking at the reflection in the water, look at the environment right in front of you. Look outside of your window. Look at your furniture. Look at people. Look up in the sky. Just observe what is in your direct vicinity. Notice that your eyeballs are picking up photons emitted from all the matter around you. Now, photons are electromagnetic vibrations. Also, notice that your ears are picking up sound waves from the air. Now, sound waves are atmospheric vibrations. Notice your sense of touch. You're touching vibrating matter or vibrating groups of atoms. Notice that everything you perceive is vibration. The entire reality that you are perceiving right now is due to different vibrational states of whatever the substance of reality is. Now, imagine that the basic substance of reality is water, and that all the vibrations that your sense organs are absorbing are caused by vibrating water, aka waves. The water is disturbed and will create little ripples to enormous waves. What I'm trying to say is that whatever the substance of reality is, it is disturbed, and that disturbance is expressed in wave-like structures, expanding in all possible directions, interacting with its direct environment. So, when you look at disturbed water, you're looking at the activity of your distorted reflection. Only when the water is quiet, you're looking at your peaceful, untouched reflection. Now, in the same way, when you perceive reality, you're perceiving the disturbed substance of reality. But before I continue to unravel your true self, we first must ask the question, who or what is observing? The answer to that is quite simple. The observer can observe everything except itself. The only thing the observer cannot observe is itself, because the observer cannot separate itself from itself to observe itself. So, it will never be able to observe itself. This unobservable observer that is itself is what we call consciousness. We know it is there, but we cannot look at it because we are it. Now, reality, or rather sensory information, is adding energy to your unconsciousness. And this in return creates consciousness. Before information hits your consciousness, you're unconscious of it. And as soon as it hits you, you become conscious of it. So, information is bombarding your unconsciousness to turn it into consciousness. Basically, consciousness is a reflection of disturbed unconsciousness. The reality that you are experiencing right now is the distortion of your natural state as unconsciousness. So in order to become conscious, sensory information must disturb your unconsciousness to wake you up. Now this means that a disturbed unconsciousness is becoming conscious of that which is disturbing it. The unconscious has been activated and it is experiencing itself in a disturbed conscious way. Now back to the water. When a physical body is looking at the water, it can only look at its physical reflection clearly when the water is in its natural state. So only when there is no activity in the water, the true self-reflection will rise. And in the same way, when a consciousness is experiencing reality, it is experiencing itself as a distortion of itself. So in order for consciousness to experience itself as what it truly is, aka the true self-reflection, which is not being distorted, then consciousness itself must return to its natural state as unconsciousness. So it is fundamentally impossible to experience your true self, because your true self is a state of absolute nothingness or non-existence. So at the bottom of existence, we are all essentially nothing.